A huge shout out to all the great men and women over there in Hawthorne, California at SpaceX, including my dear friend Christian Kapulin, where they manufacture, design, and launch advanced rockets and spacecraft like the Falcon, the Falcon 9, and Starship. All of their hard work there at SpaceX is revolutionizing space travel, and perhaps one day will lead to the ultimate adventure, occupying Mars. Thanks for all you do. Everybody, this Sunday night, July the 13th, leaving at 6:30 p.m., returning at 11:30 p.m., the El Patron Twilight Sandbass fishing with yours truly. I'll be there to shoot a video and have a lot of fun with each and every one of you. Call Long Beach Sport Fishing or go to www.longbeachsportfishing.org. Get on the El Patron this Sunday night, July the 13th, for some sandbass twilight fishing
Great
fun.
Adventure for you, and it's absolutely free. July 10th through the 13th on Southern California beaches, there is a grunion run. Look at that. The sights, the sounds, it's absolutely magnificent. If you want to take grunion, you're allowed to take 30. You need a fishing license to do that. But the fishing opportunity's also there. You can catch halibut, yellowfin, croaker, leopard sharks, rays, sharks, even stripers. 20-pound test with a 1/0 J hook, a half-ounce sliding egg sinker, and a grunion that you'll pluck from the sea and toss out there is a great way to get a bite. Whether you're taking the kids to see this marvel of nature or trying to catch a big fish, tonight is a free great adventure for you all.
The best sandbass fishing in decades continues in San Diego, California, as the 1/2 and 3/4 day boats have been all over the sandbass. Copious amounts of SBs are biting 2 at a time, and anglers returning many back to the sea. Really great fishing, and it is not slowing down.
Jeff Lingle is fishing about 130 miles south of Point Loma and has big news. He's hooked to Dorado, seen plenty of free swimming Dorado around as a yellowfin tuna and 4 yellowtail. Are they headed for San Diego?
Jeff Lingle is fishing about 130 miles south of Point Loma and has big news. He's hooked to Dorado, seen plenty of free swimming Dorado around as a yellowfin tuna and 4 yellowtail. Are they headed for San Diego?
I suffered a motorcycle accident with a car when I was 19 years old. I'm in a wheelchair and I'm from Japan. Wheelchair and I'm from France. His name's Brian and he's blind. Got his first wave and he stood up in those crazy gnarly conditions. So stoked. He goes, I'm coming back next month, and he was so happy. Ears that were helping him were so stoked. You know, as long as you're doing something good for somebody else, it's going to come back.
Please don't forget to support the Friedman Adventurers family members who make this all possible, like the taxman, Tim Marquez, and your garage door man, Joe Welker, who does a great job and gets rave reviews here at Friedman Adventures. Heating and or air conditioning needs, it's our dear friend John Lopez, and also the Island Spirit, Ventura Sport Fishing. You can't beat it. Chris Isaac and the El Patron out of Long Beach Sport Fishing, www.longbeachsportfishing.org.
Get out of bed and wake up the kids, 'cause you know what time it is. It's time for the morning briefing. Fishing reports up and down the coast with Phil Friedman, your coffee-loving host. So much fishing intel, it feels like cheating when you tune into the morning briefing. Inshore, offshore, from the surf, bluefin, yellowtail, pod, surf, perch. Tell you where the fish are and what they're eating when you tune into the morning briefing. So give it a like and subscribe. Hit that bell to be notified of all the fishing content coming your way. Friedman Adventures is here to make your fishing day. It's a morning briefing. Morning briefing.
Hey, good Friday morning, my dear friends, and welcome to beautiful Surfside, California. You know, it doesn't feel like a morning in July. It's a little breezy and kind of cool here this morning, but there's still a lot to talk about. We've got a tremendous white sea bass bite that just does not slow down in the Channel Islands. Tremendous fishing in San Francisco. If you like halibut and stripers, it's going on down in Mexico. The bluefin and Ensenada are still providing some great action. We saw some more yellowfin and some Dorado down the line a little ways. Jeff Lingle has that. We're going twilight fishing this Sunday night on the El Patron, and you're invited. All you have to do is call Long Beach Sport Fishing or go to www.longbeachsportfishing.org, and we'll be going. Freedman Adventures, I'll be there shooting a video this Sunday night, 6:30 p.m. departure. Hope we see you there. Grunion on our beaches, surf fishing report, and so much more. You know what time it is. It is time for the morning briefing. Good morning, my friends. So good and great to be with you all. Man, there's a lot going on. If you don't mind, hit that like button. Make sure you share these videos everywhere. Also, subscribe to the Freedman Adventures YouTube channel and tick that rotten, filthy, disgusting little bell. You'll be notified when there is new content. You can also follow us over on Facebook. Just go over to Freedman Adventures on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Apple Podcast, and Spotify. So great to be with you all. Yeah, it's a weird morning here. A little bit breezy, and we have had some weather up on us here recently. It's made things a little bit more difficult. In fact, even given some of that difficult weather, it's amazing to me that we've been able to make so many great catches. And there has indeed been some really good stuff. The Tootsie Report. Yeah, nice warm water. It still feels pretty darn good here in the Southern California surf. And you know, I think we're looking down the barrel of even better fishing. It's really a kind of a slow developing kind of year. We'll see how it all plays out later in the summer and into the fall. I think we're looking down the barrel of an incredible fall bite. So let's keep our eyes on it. We'll continue to watch it. Grunion tonight, tomorrow night, and the next night. Don't forget that if you want to get out with the kids and have some fun. All right, let's jump into it. I want to go all the way down to the East Cape, Palmas de Cortez. Perhaps you saw Charles Webb on a podcast we did here recently. He's a paraplegic who's out surfing and fishing. He drove all the way down there. He filed a report with me yesterday. He said, you know, wasn't too good yesterday. He didn't fish, but he got the report. Way too windy, not much fish really taken, a few marlin here and there, but Dorado been absent. It's been pretty tough. He's out this morning, and I told him, come on, Chaka, it's going to bite for you today. So we'll see how he does. In fact, I might hook up with him in a live update from the East Cape and Palmas de Cortez just a little bit later. Down there at Cedros Island, same thing. We haven't seen that yellowtail bite just really go crazy this year. It's been picky, scratchy, and it's remaining that way at Cedros. There's some big white sea bass and halibut and pretty good calico bass fishing, but overall, it's been a different kind of year down there at Cedros. San Quintin, 140 miles down below the border. Outstanding yellowtail action going on there. It has been fabulous. Jeff Lingle, who runs a yacht, he'll be checking in with us about the offshore bite, and I'll let you know how that is. But in on the beach, the yellowtail action has been absolutely fantastic. And Ensenada, only 70 miles down below. Man, I love Ensenada. It's such a beautiful drive to get down there, and they keep thumping away on the bluefin tuna. Mara sport fishing with great fishing. I hesitate to mention any of the boats down there because they're all in on it. Now, they had some weather yesterday, which put it down a little bit. Didn't get a chance to really get out to the zone because the weather was up, but that weather's coming down, and I have no doubt they're going to get back on that BFT again. Carlos Cortez Sport Fishing. He runs out of Popotla, and Carlos had some nice big BFT yesterday. Beautiful, great fish. There's a lot of that 15 to 30 pound stuff, but you'll still see some fish that get up over the 100-pound mark, and a lot of foamers running around, which here it is. I have it for you this morning. Tuna, riot, poppers with those big, strong hooks. You can hook a 150-pound bluefin tuna on the Tuna Riot Popper and really make it happen. When you roll up on those foamers, you can throw those small shiny jigs and get a bite, but you can get bit on the poppers also. Highly recommend Tuna Riot Popper. So some good stuff going on south of the border. Long range fishing, absolutely phenomenal. It's been great on the 7 and 8 day trips here recently. We've just seen it biting and not really slowing up at all. Great yellowtail action on fish, let's say anywhere from 15 to 40 plus pounds. And then yellowfin tuna fishing has also been absolutely remarkable for our long range brothers and sisters. They've really been putting the wood to them. That yellowfin's in I want to say 30 to 90 pound class. Royal Polaris, Intrepid, Independence, all those guys, many other guys getting in on that. Superior fishing, about a 500 plus mile run down to the zone. There's some fish up a little bit closer to home. Also, let us talk about what is going on with regard to our bluefin tuna. I described it as mediocre, and I'm going to keep that description going.
Hey, you guys, I'm in post-production, but I just spoke with Max Nui on the Pacific Voyager. He said he had 42 bluefin tuna last night in his night bite, but he said it was small grade, 8 to 25 pounds. Appreciate Max, as always, checking in with the straight info.
I don't know if it has been this inclement weather, and I mean by that breezy weather, seas are up a little bit. It's fishable, no doubt about it. It's just kind of uncomfortable. Makes it a little bit more difficult to work in. And of course, we're under the influence of that full moon. And man, that full moon has screwed up our bluefin tuna bite with great regularity all year long. And in previous years, you get a little deeper into summer and fall, and it seems to have less of an effect. But man, here recently, it's been a real pain in the neck. Maybe that's got it in a funk. Now, having said that, there's been some poor scores. There's been some mediocre scores, and then there's been some really good signs of life. There's a lot of fish in the 15 to 30 pound class. They're biting in the daytime. Man, you're gonna have to learn how to fish a chovy, my friends. I'm telling you, there's a lot of chovy for bait down there. Guys like Cliff Hughes have been on here all year long saying, you guys better learn how to fish a chovy on the light tackle, like 20 pound, maybe 25. You're gonna get a bite on that 20 every single time if you fly line a chovy or use a small sliding egg sinker. But man, it means a smaller reel and being able to toss that smaller bait, which is a chovy. Cliff's been yelling about it. You know, it sounds like old men all getting together. I remember back in my day, we had to walk in the snow for 6 miles and then fly line a small little chovy. I know it sounded like one of those stories. Well, it's come to fruition. And with all that chovy for bait right now, you got to learn how to do that. It really is a great time if you're having trouble. I know there's a big stigma attached to this. It's almost blasphemy for me to say this, but a spinning reel would come in real handy for a lot of folks right now. They make a lot of great spinning reels with plenty of drag, especially on the grade of bluefin. A lot of it, we're seeing that 15 to 30 pound stuff. Polaris Supreme on a 3-day trip. Now listen, this is what I mean. It's not all that bad. 74 on the bluefin tuna for those boys. There's some other scores that aren't that good. I talked about Jeff Lingle. He's down there about 40 miles below the border right now. And Jeff has come up with some Dorado, some yellowfin tuna. He's seen more evidence of it than he's caught, but he's caught one of each of those species. Kelp patty yellowtail, he's seen a lot. And then he worked out to a temperature break. He found some 71-degree water and started catching more bluefin tuna. Jeff's an outstanding fisherman, a great source of information for us here at Freedman Adventures. Nice hit for Jeff out there. He had a fish that went 100, a fish that went 120, a fish that went 125, and 175-pound bluefin tuna that he said really fought hard. That was a brutal fish. Up to 7 bluefin tuna for 3 anglers, 1 yellowfin and 1 Dorado down there. He likes what he's seeing on those warm water species. He's seeing more and more of it every single day. That is great stuff. Now, the full day guys that are running out of San Diego are really doing well, I have to admit. And that's where we're going to be fly lining a chovy, my friends. You know, some guys have been saying 30 to 40 pound fluoro. Now they're kind of backing off and saying 25 will get you a bite. And I know guys, if you know what you're doing and you fish hard, you're fishing 20 pound fluorocarbon with a number 2 or 4 size hook. And that's how you're getting your bite. San Diego yesterday caught a bunch of kelp patty yellowtail doing that, fishing that lighter line and getting bites on that. They had 35 on the kelp patty forkies and 15 bluefin tuna. The Mission Bell with 30 guys yesterday, 40 bluefin tuna. I'm telling you, pretty darn good. Grande with 40 guys, 11 bluefin tuna and a couple of yellowtail. And once again, fishing that lighter line, learning how to fish anchovy is essential to your success right now. So keep that in mind. Lucky Bee's a yacht with 4 guys, limits of bluefin tuna, 8 bluefin tuna, and real deep sport fishing. Found some kelps that were loaded with yellowtail and had some excellent fishing. So remember, you are likely to encounter, this can all change in a day's notice. The bait boats can start making sardine. But with this cooler water and this different oceanography, you are more than likely to encounter anchovy for bait. And there's guys on 3-day trips right now that have only anchovy. Now, of course, that nighttime bluefin tuna bite will come back and you'll be fishing the jigs. Still doing that. Well, I don't know what I'm talking about. That is still a factor. I'm talking mostly daytime fishing with the chovy. That's what you're going to be using. So keep that in mind. Don't forget to hit that like button, share these videos absolutely everywhere. We really appreciate your great support here at Freedman Adventures. And join us this Sunday night at 6:30 p.m. on board the El Patron for a few hours of fun twilight sand bass fishing. That's going to be a lot of fun, no doubt about it. We'll talk about our islands before we do. However, let us say hello to Lupe, who's back there in the corner. She's walking by, as always, beachcombing and enjoying this lovely environment we're so blessed to have. Coronado Islands, we see yellows. They don't bite that well. Man, same old refrain. It's just been going on and on like that, no doubt about it. We're hoping it's going to kick into gear. There's bass there and there's rockfish, but the yellow bite has been off. At San Clemente Island, we've been talking about the Thunderbird and some of those big dropper loop yellowtail that they have been catching. Man, I'm telling you, every once in a while they get bit on that stuff, and it's nice, great. Our dear friend Susan Sosa was fishing on a Western outdoor news trip on board the Fury out of Dana Wharf Sport Fishing. Susan was out, and she's a great person and a great angler. She said, pretty good. You know, we scratched and picked and ended up with 15 yellowtail. She said they were mostly 10 to 15 pound fish. In addition to that, they had 40 calico bass and 50 whitefish and a gar, a barracuda to go along with it. And on this very special day when they were out at San Clemente Island, they were entertained by a bald eagle who kept coming back for lunch. So that was pretty cool. Thanks for sharing, Susan. So happy you had another great time on the water. At Catalina Island, there's a mix of fish. It's not wide open. Some guys get limits of calico bass. The guys out of LA Harbor here recently have had limits of calico bass in the Gale Force and Triton. The El Patron over there, good mix of both rockfish and blue perch and a few yellowtail wandering around and calico bass, sheephead, whitefish. I mean, there's real variety over there, just kind of picking at all of those. Same thing over there on the Pursuit out of 22nd Street Landing. And then we get up to the Channel Islands, and man, I don't know what to tell you about that place. It has been spectacular all year long. It's been magnificent. Now, the weather the last 48 hours has been less than optimum. We're hoping for a much better weather day today up there because our friend Daniel Hadaway is out on a 5 a.m. trip focusing on halibut with our friend KJ from Mag 12 Swim Baits. We're hoping they're going to come up with a great catch. Yesterday, conditions were not that good, and still they came up with some outstanding fishing. The gray light sided those kind of crummy conditions. 4 guys had 4 white sea bass and 3 halibut, and then over on board the Mirage out of Cisco Sport Fishing in Oxnard, they crank an absolutely unbelievable trip with 20 anglers catching 60 white sea bass, limits of white sea bass on the Mirage, along with 12 halibut. Can it get any better than that, folks? Man, and with the weather forecast, gorgeous for the weekend. I'm thinking it's going to be fantastic up there. A lot of dropper loop fish being taken. Fishing the dropper loop's been a good way to get it done. But there are times when you switch over to a small sliding egg sinker. And then other times when I'm talking dropper loop, 6, 8 ounce torpedo. The other day they had to fish 16 ounce in this inclement weather. So keep that in mind. You're going to have a little bit of a variety of tackle, but it's been good. And a 5.0 Aki twist hook has been the way to make it happen with a dropper loop. Tremendous fishing. Up to San Francisco we take you, where they had a double limit of halibut and stripers. Excellent fishing for the guys there with lovely Martha sport fishing. And then backing up a little bit into Monterey and Avila Beach and Morro Bay. Great lings and rockfish, vermilions, all kinds of really fantastic fishing going on there. So really good stuff going on our local bite. It doesn't get any better than what's going on in San Diego, California, USA. Man, the sandbass bite, tremendous for the local boats down there. I don't want to mention too many guys because I'll leave somebody out. Just suffice to say that everybody's in on it. The Dolphin in the morning yesterday, limits of sandbass with 200 sandbass, the premier daily double. All the boys down there have been all over the Sea Watch out of Seaforth. It's been fantastic. Dropper loop, small sliding egg sinker, a hot chovy, and you're on. It's been instant. It's a great way to introduce kids or a neighbor to sport fishing, and so many people have been doing exactly that. Really, really good. And here in the LA Orange County area, it sputtered a little bit, but it's pretty darn good. I got to admit, from Dana Wharf all the way up to Redondo Beach, the sandbass have been nibbling more and more and more, and it seems to be on again. Victory, limits of sandbass, limits of sculpin yesterday. The Enterprise has been all over the fish here recently, and all the other boats, several of them are back on this sandbass again here right now. It's biting. The Monte Carlo on their morning trip yesterday had excellent fishing on the sandbass with 52 sandbass and only 13 anglers. It's back on again. It's biting. Twilight trips have been darn good also. We're loving what we are seeing on this local sandbass fishing. And remember, if you can't get a bite or you're having trouble, drop down to, I'm going to say 12 pound, and guys are going to scream at me, captains and crew. 12 pound, you'll be bit all day long. 15 pound, you'll be bit all day long. Tie it off your 15 pound to a cleat and then pull and break it. And you'll see just how hard you can pull on 12 and 15 pound. You can really pull well. So some good stuff going on here in the local scene for 1/2 and 3/4 day boats. A little bit of barracuda mixed in with it. And as I mentioned, guys can get sculpin and rockfish to either add to their count on the sandbass, or if they don't bite, they can fill in with that. Really great fishing going on. Hey, in the Southern California surf, I got to point you down to Big Fish Bait and Tackle on the corner of Seal Beach Boulevard and Pacific Coast Highway. Really great stuff going on there, as they've got all your bait and tackle, not only for the surf, but also for offshore bluefin, sea bass, yellows, everything. They've got it down there. They give away a free custom rod every single month. Big Fish Bait and Tackle. Make sure you drop in and say hello for yours truly. I would really appreciate that. How about Jim Payne? He took the kids, neighbor kids out, and introduced them to surf fishing. And man, Jim, you're the kind of guy we're after here at the Friedman Adventures family, sharing this great, beautiful, precious resource that we're so blessed to have with kids and getting them off their phones for a little bit. That is important stuff. Jeff Perea, fantastic Friedman Adventures family member. And Jeff just recently had shoulder surgery. He's been waiting to get back out and start fishing. In the last couple of days, he's had outstanding fishing down here at the tower. He had some pretty good fishing. In fact, really good yesterday on the perch, both walleye and bar perch. He's been down at Dog Beach where he had some halibut, a nice corbina, and more perch. It's been really active for Jeff. And of course, we've got that grunion run that'll manifest itself again here tonight. So we'll be watching that very, very closely. Nice going, Jeff. We've seen some decent fishing up in the Santa Monica Bay, although it's been a little bit inconsistent, but there's been enough Corbina there between the Hermosa and Manhattan Beach Pier, also down on the Huntington Pier, and as Jeff mentioned, while we haven't caught a ton of Corbina this year, I think it's just, as I said, a little bit late in developing. Hopefully it'll come together here very, very soon. Really excellent signal in the Southern California surf. And look at this. You know, I mentioned it was a little bit breezy, but you could easily throw a chrome crocodile here. You could easily fish bait. That's sandworms, work really well. You'll find them here in the sand, digging down and finding those. They feed on grunion eggs, so if you happen to know where there's been a lot of grunion, you're going to find those sandworms in that zone, and they are a superior bait. Lucky craft lures also very, very effective. I do see an absence of bird life here today, but who knows? You know, maybe it'll get active a little bit later, and the high tide is a little bit later here this morning. All right, my friends, I don't know what to tell you. It's another gorgeous day. There's so much going on. We'll be on that twilight trip Sunday night. It's going to be a lot of fun. I've talked to a couple of people. Daphne is going to be on board. She's a great Freeman Adventures family member. Pedro is going to be there, and there's a couple of other really great folks that have signed up for that trip. We're just announcing it right now and hope you'll be able to join us this Sunday night. Should be a lot of fun. All right, my friends, have a great and beautiful Friday and a wonderful weekend. You know, the way this is going, there's going to be some more special updates here throughout the day. I'm almost guaranteeing you of that. It's been that crazy. All the folks at SpaceX, man, you guys are providing us with such dreams of great adventures in the future. Christian and everybody, all you hardworking men and women who make SpaceX in Hawthorne, California so special, man, you have our heartfelt thanks for all you do. Take care. Have a great one. And I hope to see you really, really soon. Oh my God! Beautiful. Alalejos Rock! Oh!
Philip Friedman Charter.
Fish. Oh, nice! Oh!
Hey, give another one. No.
Yeah, look at that.
A really fun and productive method to take yellowfin croaker in the Southern California coast is by throwing a small lure. It really works well, and it's lots of fun.
Deception jig, man, and that thing hit the bottom, twitched it once, and it was
First
on.
cast coming up. Dad Leland's back. He ain't screwing around anymore.
Freaking nice bar purge.
Ah, life's good. Woo!
Good job, man.
Oh, Phil, I'm so glad you talked me into this.
Woo! What a way to start the morning briefing.